In this video, we'll show you how to install your new TimberTech Advanced PVC deck boards with Cortex driller hidden fasteners on a TimberTech aluminum frame. These instructions will enable you to complete a standard decking design on a TimberTech aluminum frame. TimberTech Advanced PVC decking can be installed at 16 inches on-center joist spacing. However, for best results, 12 inches on-center spacing may be used for a more rigid feel underfoot. TimberTech Advanced PVC decking is simple to install. This fully synthetic capped polymer product is easy to cut, lightweight, and easy to fasten as it requires no pre-drilling. Before installation, please review the TimberTech Aluminum Framing Installation Guide, along with this list of tools. Also, be sure that your TimberTech aluminum framing has been constructed according to our installation guide and code requirements, and is ready for the attachment of decking. The first step is to cut your TimberTech Advanced PVC deck boards. Deck boards can be easily cut with a power miter saw or an electric circular saw. However, a power miter saw will provide the best results. When cutting, remember to always wear proper safety glasses and follow safety guidelines for the saw. Cut boards one at a time with the grain facing upward. Always cut factory ends to provide a clean square cut and finish. Do not install boards with factory end cuts. As always, remember to measure twice and cut once. For best results, don't cut boards after they have been fastened. If using a circular saw, be sure to use a saw guide to ensure a clean cut and finish. To cut around rail posts and other obstructions, a jigsaw can be used. Like other alternative decking products, TimberTech decking will encounter expansion and contraction during temperature changes. Ensure deck boards stay cool, clean, and shielded from direct sunlight during storage and cutting. For optimal results, avoid sunlight exposure and fasten decking under shaded conditions to reduce material gapping and contraction. While spacing side to side between boards should be 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch, the spacing at butt joints, miters, and board ends should always be tight. Do not leave a gap on any board ends or end joints. To fasten your cut TimberTech Advanced PVC deck board to your framing, Cortex driller hidden fasteners with collated plugs will be used. When installing TimberTech Advanced PVC decking, you do not need to pre-drill the PVC decking or the aluminum frame, with the exception of butt joints and miter joints. Pre-drilling is important where board ends meet, such as butt joints and miters, as this will prevent chip buildup below the board ends, which can lead to unevenness where the boards meet. At butt joints and miters, pre-drill the deck boards and aluminum frame using a 5/32 inch drill bit prior to installing the Cortex drillers. Install 3 screws at board ends, butt joints, and miters. For a better result and hold when installing deck boards longer than 12 feet, consider installing a 3rd screw 1 to 2 joists away from each board end. Install Cortex driller screws 1/2 inch away from all board ends, butt joints, and miters, and 3/4 inch away from the side edge of the board. For best results, use a 20-volt impact driver with the provided Cortex setting tool for efficient fastening. Ensure screws are driven straight down, avoiding angled insertion, and maintain a constant vertical downward force on the drill when fastening. Do not let off the trigger until the Cortex setting tool disengages. Change the Cortex setting tool if the felt pad becomes worn or damaged, as this can affect the setting depth of the screw. The Cortex screw will automatically release when reaching the correct countersink depth and can be felt and heard when the screw releases. We suggest practicing on scrap to understand the feel. Use 2 screws at every joist location, not exceeding 16 inches on center max. For best results when installing 7 1/4 inch wide width PVC boards, consider installing 3 screws per joist. Fully fasten each board before moving on to place the next deck board. With the screws properly driven, grab a strip of Cortex plugs. Make sure the grain of the plug is aligned with the grain on the deck board. Place the first plug by hand into the screw hole and push to release it from the plastic collation strip. Using a smooth-faced plastic hammer, gently tap the plug into place. The plug should be completely flush with the surface on the deck board. Continue installing the rest of your TimberTech Advanced PVC deck boards while maintaining a consistent 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch side-to-side spacing between deck boards for proper drainage. A spacing tool is recommended for even spacing and can be purchased at TimberTech.com. If installing fascia to cover the perimeter of your deck frame, use TimberTech Advanced PVC 7 1/4 inch riser boards or AZEK PVC trim boards 3/4 of an inch or thicker in gauge. Both can be fastened with Cortex driller fasteners, using a minimum of 2 Cortex driller screws and plugs spaced 12 inches apart. If installing 8 feet or longer, install 3 Cortex drillers and plugs spaced every 12 inches maximum. Use 3 screws at all fascia board ends. Composite fascia boards are not compatible with metal framing. Do not use advanced PVC 1/2 inch by 11 3/4 inch fascia board or any other material that is less than 3/4 inch thick with any Cortex fasteners. To install TimberTech decking as stair treads on a TimberTech aluminum stair frame, follow these guidelines. A common practice is to picture frame your stair treads, which requires 45-degree cuts to form mitered corners. Or you can run 2 5.5 inch boards straight across. Use Cortex driller screws and plugs to fasten the boards directly to the 4-foot aluminum stair treads, installing 2 screws every 16 inches maximum. Install 3 screws at each mitered corner if you will be picture framing your stair treads. Use 3 screws on each end if deck stair tread lengths are longer than 8 feet. For a better result and hold when installing deck boards longer than 12 feet, consider installing 3 screws on the ends and 3 screws 12 inches or 16 inches away from each end. Be sure to avoid drilling into the vertical walls of the stair tread. While a riser board is not required, we recommend using a 3/4 inch by 7 1/4 inch advanced PVC riser board or a 1 inch by 7 1/4 inch advanced PVC deck board or trim board to complete your steps. Composite riser boards are not compatible with metal framing. Risers are fastened to the vertical portion of the aluminum stair tread using 2 Cortex driller screws and plugs spaced every 12 inches maximum. For best results, use 3 screws at riser board ends. Be sure that the screws along the bottom edge are fastened into the aluminum riser on the front of each stair tread assembly. If installing stair risers 8 feet or longer, install 3 Cortex drillers and plugs spaced every 12 inches maximum. You may want to install riser boards to cover the outside of your aluminum stringers, but leaving the aluminum stringers exposed also results in a clean, finished look. If you choose to install riser boards to cover the aluminum stringers, be sure to fasten 12 inches on center maximum and keep drillers 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch from edges. You may need additional fasteners along the edges and board ends to help keep riser boards flat and restrict movement from expansion or contraction. We suggest a minimum of 1/4 inch overhang on nosing of each step, with a maximum overhang of 1/2 of an inch. Note, you must also refer to your local building code requirements for stair nosing. With your TimberTech Advanced PVC deck boards installed on your TimberTech aluminum frame, you're now ready to enjoy your new deck.